Hello, welcome to a lesson on filling in these three symbols here. The first symbol is called a less than sign, meaning that, I don't know, like 5 is less than 10, something like that. And then this is a greater than sign. Again, for example, like 5 is greater than 0, something like that. And then this is an equal to sign, like for example, like 5 is equal to 5. We have to fill in these three symbols in this one here. Now, I wrote down, we have a number line here to remind you that the bigger negative number is actually smaller than the smaller negative number. For example, negative 10 is smaller than negative 1, meaning that you rather owe $1 than owe $10, okay? 0 is a neutral number. It's always in between a positive and a negative, okay? So let's go ahead and do number 1. As you can see right over here, I know that this number here is 5, negative 5, and this one's negative 11, meaning that the negative 11 is actually smaller than a negative 5. Remember, when they're both negative, the bigger number is smaller. The number line tells me that, and it's pretty obvious, okay? So I'm going to put the sign like that. All right, so negative 5 is greater than negative 11. Let's go to number 2. Now, when you have two fractions, it might be more difficult to understand what's bigger. The best thing you do is find a common denominator, okay? So just by looking, you can always, if I would do something like this, I would just multiply by the other number. So multiply by 8 times 8. Again, the number will be this, it will have the same value, it's just a different denominator, okay? So that gives me 24 over 40. And then again, multiply by 5 because I want a common denominator. Just multiply by the other number. So that will give me 25. As you can see, this is also going to be 40. Okay? Now, to know what's bigger and smaller, you just look at the numerator. 25 is obviously bigger than 24. So I'm going to use this sign like that. All right? You can put it here too if you want to. All right, let's go ahead and go to number 3. Okay, now when you have decimals, okay, again, when you do a decimal, you always want to focus on the first number first, and the first number is 7, behind, well, 0 and 0 is the same, okay, and the second number is a 7, and this one's a 6, so ignore the 4 and 2 for now, okay, just by looking at that, this is actually 70 cents, 0.7, it means 70 cents, this is 64 cents, so this is actually a bigger number. All right, last one. Now this one has both fractions and decimals, okay? And they're both negative. And remember, since they're both negative, the bigger number is actually smaller, so be careful, okay? So just look here. I'm going to convert this one quickly to a decimal. 3 over 4 is 3/4, meaning that it is 3/4. So therefore, that's 0.75, okay? Now you can divide that. You can go, okay, 4 goes in 3. How many times? If you wanted to, you go 7, 28, 2, 0, and then 5. Okay, so same thing. All right, again, they're both negative, so be careful. Negative 0.65. And most students will go, oh, okay, this is a smaller number, and you do something like this, which is incorrect. Okay, so calm down for a second and realize that they're both negative, and then therefore this is the bigger number if it's positive, but since they're both negative, this one is the smaller number, so this is actually the bigger number. All right, and there you go. That's how you do a problem like this. Remember, use the number line to realize a smaller number is actually bigger when they're negative, okay? All right, thank you.